You sure do like to share your opinions, talking big like somebody's listening. Nobody's listening.
Smack, smack, smack! Oh, oh, oh!
Hit the ignition. Now you listen. Hop up in the window. Smaller and smaller, you fade down. Hop up in the window.
Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. Welcome back to Movie Monday. So last week I watched Paddington for the very first time. Though I had never seen it until now, but somehow I avoided seeing Paddington. Not that I didn't want to, just never saw it for some reason. Now I'm watching Paddington 2, obviously also for the first time, in anticipation for the third one coming out in a couple months. I hope this is good. The first one I think was a good film, and synopsis for this one is Paddington, now happily settled with the Browns, picks up a series of odd jobs to buy the perfect present for his Aunt Lucy, but it is stolen. Interesting. I'm watching the opening scene right now, and it's a flashback to Peru again, which sees his dad there. So is his dad actually dead? That's what I want to know, because we never saw him die. But there's obviously a flashback. But the fact they're showing him again makes me think maybe his dad is not dead. I don't know. I hope he's not. Also an interesting plot point how they were meant to go to London, but then they didn't because they had to raise Paddington. And it was Paddington that ended up going to London. Sad in some ways, of course, but interesting. But yeah, this seems to be about a present that is stolen, so I think that's the main plot point, but I'm sure we'll see certain things about his parents that we haven't seen yet. So I'm excited. It's an hour and 43 minutes, a bit longer than the last one. I like it. I hope the third one's even longer than that. Bro's using his electric toothbrush to clean his ears and nose. What on earth is going on? Why am I bleeding? I must use a toothbrush as well. I also noticed Hugh Grant is in this. I wonder what character he's playing. It definitely seems like Paddington is fitting well with the community, because everyone seems to know him. Obviously they would do, because he stopped that robbery. I just remembered that, but still. It seems like a bit of time has passed since the first film, considering how he has good relationships with everyone in the neighborhood and in the city. Also, I forgot, I said parents at the start. It's aunt and uncle. I actually knew that, and I still said parents, but they did raise him, so they kind of are parents, just not biologically. But yeah, moving on. I really like Paddington's gift idea to send back to his aunt. It would be the perfect way, because she always wanted to go to London, obviously. So he finds a pop-up book in Gruber's store, and it's a pop-up book of London, and he wants to send that to her, because I think the fact that it's 3D definitely helps. But like, he can show his aunt what London is like through a book, and it can be like she's really there from his perspective of how she would think of that present. So yeah, it's a thoughtful present. Trouble is, it's too expensive, so he's got to get a job, and this job is not going well. I'm watching this scene with the plant pots in the barbers. I think he's gonna get sacked here, that's for sure. I tell you what, Paddington Bear, he found his job, a window cleaner. He's even cleaning the Shard. I didn't even realize Mr. Brown worked in the Shard, to be honest. That's actually pretty cool. I'm happy to see Richard A. here. I didn't expect him to be in this film. So Hugh Grant, he basically the villain. He steals this pop-up book because he thinks this has secrets for him to be successful and to get out the trenches. That's not what it was said, but I like to say trenches because that's a saying nowadays. But he perfectly frames Paddington Bear for it. So everyone thinks Paddington Bear did the crime of stealing the book. Obviously he really wants it. And Hugh Grant is in the clear for now. So yeah, that is the plot line so far. You currently got a court case, and the judge is the guy whose hair that Paddington messed up in the barbers earlier in the film. So the odds are stacked against him, and it looks like he did a crime, but he was completely innocent. He was there. He was just trying to stop the guy who stole it. And I was just like, it's so obvious it's Hugh Grant as well. I can just tell. Obviously, maybe because I'm an adult and I can like see, but like, you could just tell it was him that was stealing it. Even with that big disguise, I'm just like, that's definitely that guy, that's definitely him. So when he revealed, I'm just like, yeah, I knew that. So Paddington gets found guilty, sent to prison. Hugh Grant's character actually speaks in court, claiming he never saw this man that was disguised as him. But yeah, he's now stuck in prison, and Paddington's writing to his aunt again, and he explains how the prison is like very high security and very secure. This makes me think there'll be a prison break attempt at some point. Someone try and break him out and prove his innocence. That's what I'm assuming happens in this film, because I highly doubt the movie ends and he's still in prison. Or at least like before the climax anyway. Like he'll be in prison for a bit, he'll be broken out, he'll get found innocent, never go back in. Obviously, I can predict this. It's too easy. And here is I can see Hugh Grant in an armored suit. Paddington's experience in prison is exactly how I'd imagine Paddington's experience in prison. Obviously, he doesn't completely understand human customs, doesn't really get sarcasm, takes things a bit too literally. And him in prison, and he's very clumsy, so obviously doesn't know how to do a lot of things. So him making those prison suits pink by accident, by adding a red sock in the laundry. And that Knuckles incident, that's exactly how Paddington would act. I like those scenes. He's still going to break out, but I like those scenes. He seems to have made an alliance in prison now. You know, up to the point of me seeing this film right now at 7:27 p.m. on Monday. This video's late, by the way. It's meant to be up Monday morning. Meant to record it before that. But it should be up before Tuesday, UK time at least. Most of the world know. But anyway, as I was saying, until I watched this film in 2024, I did not know, on the 9th of September 2024, I did not know that there was a thing called a cake fork. I did not know cake forks were a thing. There's a cake fork. I just googled it, it's an actual thing. I didn't know this existed. What? I'm actually baffled right now. The only cutlery I've used to eat cake is a spoon. What do you mean a cake fork? I love Tom Davis, by the way. I said this, and I didn't know his name until now. I IMDb'd him, but I know he was in Wonka. He's been in a lot of things. He's a funny character whenever I see him. When I saw the Postman, I was just like, oh, it's him. It's like they're getting like people from UK TV shows and just slapping in this film, which kind of makes sense. Take place in London, but yeah, his name's Joel Fry. I actually didn't know that either, but I recognize his face from so many different things. So eventually, the Browns figure out it was Phineas Buchanan, Hugh Grant's character, an actor who has pretty much lost all his money, wants to get his hand on a fortune, and this book has the clues to it. I love how the whole time Mr. Brown didn't believe it at all. He's just like, I don't believe this. Just like the first film, I didn't believe Paddington, what he was saying about the fire. And then when they finally found out the truth, it was just like, we were right all along. No, you weren't, mate. you disagreed with him. But anyway, Paddington's made friends with a lot of inmates, and they hatch a plan to break him out, as I would expect. Paddington says no, and they said, look, mate, eventually they'll stop visiting you, they'll forget about you, eventually there'll be no home to go back to. And he's just like, obviously he's kind of answered, I don't believe you, the Browns are different. And then they missed his next visiting session. Obviously there's a reason for that. They were investigating who the real thief was, but Paddington doesn't know that. So the next night obviously he's going to agree to break out. So it's kind of just bad timing really, because they didn't stop for caring about him, they didn't forget him. They spent the entire day looking out for him, but because they missed visiting and because the prisoners put that idea in his head, from his perspective, is they've forgotten him already. Or just forgotten one visit. But yeah, there's now 4 people trying to break Paddington out of prison. This should be fun. They're going to get out on the streets and find Phineas Buchanan. Or Hugh Grant. I prefer to say Hugh Grant, to be honest. I say this a lot in movies. I say the actor's name rather than the actual character name. And the prisoners were lying to him. Like, they broke out with him. They needed him as a 4th person to break out. But they weren't going to help him find the real thief. They were planning on leaving the country together. Damn. I mean, obviously he's prisoners, you can't really trust them, really, not like that. But obviously Paddington, with a heart like his, he has too much trust in people. But yeah, he is out of prison now, so maybe he does clear his name, because he's not going back to prison, he's hiding from the police. So but yeah, he's just called the Browns from a phone box and they've not replied. That's interesting. What if he thinks they've abandoned him, but they haven't? They've not forgotten him at all. Alright, the movie's now over. That was a good watch. I feel like the ending was really nice. Had a lot of heart to it. Also, at the start of the film, maybe his uncle might not be dead, but there's no turn up for his uncle, so maybe not. Who knows? Maybe in the third one. I don't know. Cause I'm just thinking because like I watch so many shows and films that obviously are a lot more mature than this, and whenever someone dies, you don't see him actually die. They're usually not dead. So even though it's just a kids' film, it makes more sense in a kids' film that he's not dead actually. But yeah, obviously in kids' films they do emotional deaths anyway. I mean, there's so many films like that. Damn, R.I.P. Michael Bond. Didn't realize he was the creator of Paddington and he passed away. But yeah, as I was saying, those after credit scenes and I just watched those. But yeah, a lot of good heart at the end of that film with him meeting his aunt. Like they couldn't recover the book, but they found he got cleared. Finally, Buchanan got found guilty. He got sent to the same prison Paddington was in, which is quite funny. But he doesn't seem to be having a bad time there, based on the credit scene. But I liked the bit at the end because he was thoughtful about sending a book of London to his mother to show her London. Not his mother, sorry, his aunt. And as a present in the end, the whole neighbourhood came together, apart from Mr. Curry. The whole neighbourhood came together and they brought his aunt to him, to London. Why see it in the book when she could see it for real herself? And that was a nice ending to the film. So I assume by the time he gets to the third one, which is Paddington, it's called Paddington in Peru. I assume his aunt has seen London by then, but I'm sure she would have loved to see it because obviously she wanted to since many years ago, but she had to raise Paddington, had to sacrifice that. Unfortunately, his uncle couldn't, but that's life. It is what it is. But I also love the touch that the prisoners who broke out left the country, they flew back in a helicopter that they escaped with to save Paddington from drowning. That kind of lines up well with Paddington's lore of him always seeing the good in people. I just thought like them escaping is realistic, and just ignoring his wishes and just lying to him just to escape prison and just leave him there, that's realistic. Having said that, in the line of how Paddington is in the film, seeing the good in people, it makes more sense for the story that they would come back, and they did. The prisoners came back to help him and save him in the end. But yeah, name cleared, and it kind of went how I thought it would in a way, just not like how we got there. But I said he'd break out and his name would get cleared, and that was correct. So yeah, it was a good film though. I think I liked it more than the first one. First one was a good introduction to Paddington. I've never seen the shows, by the way, so that was for me that was introduction. It was a good first film. Second film, I felt they leveled up, and I think it was a good continuation of the story of Paddington. It was a good script, and I liked the fact that his aunt managed to actually get to London for real. So that was beautiful. So yeah, hopefully Paddington Peru is good. I've not seen any trailers or anything like that. I'm just going to go in just based on these two films, and hopefully it's good. So yeah, expect a review. There'll be a vlog on my personal channel, Sir Davidoff, and there'll be a review on this channel as a shorts video added to the playlist of Paddington. But yeah, there you go. That is it. I've recorded this very late. It's now 8:18 p.m. I need to edit this and get this up before midnight, and then at least I've made Movie Monday, but not if you're in Asia or Australia or anywhere just further east of Western Europe. But it will still be clearly Monday in America. So you win some, you lose some. But sorry this is late, but we've finally done it. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and goodbye.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time where